Hi, this is another in a series on canine lullabies, music that can be used to calm your dog. And I am here talking with Mr. Terry Woodford, a therapeutic music expert who is sharing with us some incredible information on why canine lullabies work so well to calm your dog. Terry, we've been talking about so many things this morning, but I'd like for you just to tell us a little bit more about this music and why it works so well.
Well, I think probably what you ought to talk about first is, do dogs relate to the music that we like? You know, do they relate the same way? Pet owners have a tendency to put human characteristics on their dog. A lot of times they read in human characteristics that the dogs don't have. For instance, if you like wine, you wouldn't give your dog a little bowl of wine.
Right.
So obviously that's not a good thing. You know, your dog isn't doing something just to make you mad. Do you know what I mean? Or your dog a lot of times isn't, expressing a certain emotion that you may feel or you may project on the dogs, although there are a lot of things that dogs and humans do have in common. In the case of music, dogs do not relate to music like humans do. Now, one thing that can happen, if you've got, you said in another segment that you like classical music and
Correct.
It's relaxing to you. If you're being relaxed and your dog senses that you're being relaxed, then the dog may relax too, but the music is not having a direct effect on the dog. In fact, classical music, depending on what it is probably the worst music you could play to calm your dog because it's mathematically too sophisticated and too complex, and it just sounds like noise to them. So they'll tend to block it out or habituate to it. Same thing with real contemporary songs, where they're very complex arrangements and they're dynamic, and dogs, they just block it out. What is that? But if you keep something real simple melody, like in the canine lullabies, where the melodies are traditional 100-year-old, 200-year-old lullabies, and you use that familiar human heartbeat, and you have some compassion in the singer's voice, they can focus on that. It's interesting to them, and it's relaxing to them if they're upset or anxious. It's kind of like there may be a dance record that you like. Maybe you like the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, but the dog is not patting its foot to Mick Jagger. In fact, it's very stimulating. Either that or they got to block it out, and they've got to find something else they can focus on to listen to.
It's just too much for them.
Yeah, you can tell it in the humane societies and the shelters. A lot of the employees will play music they like. And they'll swear up and down, oh, the dogs just love this music. Well, no, the dogs don't.
But if the dog could talk.
Yeah. And of course, the truth is all these things that I talk about, why the canine lullabies work and why they calm dogs sometimes in just a few seconds, the truth is only the dogs know. It's only a kind of a guess based on the similarities that they do have with human beings and why they react so well to it. In fact, you'll find playing the canine lullabies is also calming to the pet owner. A lot of times, they'll get all 18 songs because they want to hear the different songs. The dog you can take one song, the free download that you can get from your website, and calm a dog with that one song, because it only usually takes anywhere from 15 to 90 seconds to calm a dog that's upset. But it's the owners that want to hear the different songs. I think it's also good to have more than one song because it's a little more challenging after a while to the dog. Something new to learn, something new to listen to. Still simple, still repetitive. Music, according to Pythagoras, is mathematical relationships of sound through time. Dogs can relate to mathematical relationships of sound through time. But if you get too many mathematical relationships of all kinds of things going on and all kinds of music, it's too much for them. They'll just block it out. It's kind of like you can't teach a baby calculus. You've got to start with 1 + 1 is 2.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. We'd like to encourage you now to go to our website, yourcaninelullabies.com, and download your free canine lullaby song. And you can soon be playing that for your dog on an MP3 player or an iPod or a CD. And we believe that in just seconds you will have a calmer, more relaxed dog.